Hello everybody and welcome to World of Warplanes. Now we'll get the important bit out of the way first. If this is free to play and if you want to get it, there is a link down in the description. If you use that link, you can then use the promo code, which is going to flash up at the screen, and enter that during your sign up process. You will gain 1 month free premium. Now premium gets you lots of lovely bonuses. So it will get you an extra 50% credits and XP, which means you don't have to grind quite so much. And a month's worth is 2,500 gold. That is roughly £8, $10, somewhere around there. So you get that for free for using that link. Right, enough pushing that. Let's get on with what the game is. So anyone that's played World of Tanks should find this extremely familiar. And obviously anyone who's played War Thunder, which is probably the nearest direct comparison around at the moment, should be fairly familiar with the sorts of things going on as well. So you have your tech trees for your various factions: UK, Japan, USA, the Soviets and Germany, split into their various trees, so fighters and heavy fighters. Some, like the Russians here, are fleshed out a little more than those such as Japan, which is, well, you don't have any choice at all, basically. I'm currently focusing on the UK, trying to get down towards the Spitfire. I'm currently in the Bristol 133 and have nearly unlocked the 147. That has taken me a couple of hours, maybe 3 hours, to get down to tier 4, and that's on a standard account, so that's on the free-to-play version. So it's progressively more difficult to level up, as with any of these games, and obviously as you get to the higher tiers it starts costing more to repair your plane. There's a paint shop, so you can customise things. Lots of fun stuff in there, but of course that costs gold, so I don't expect to see a lot of customization from people. There are far better things to spend your real money on. In terms of the hangar, usual scenario, you got a limited number of slots and you have to spend gold to purchase more, but you can sell off your planes to then you get the slot back for use in something else. And each plane goes through an upgrade process, so you can see here you start with your basic engine and just synchronized machine guns shooting through the propellers, which you can see here. And then as you get experience you can unlock better engines, and in this case guns for the wings, which you can see here, which significantly improves your firepower, of course, strapping extra guns on. And then ultimately you need to save up for the next plane, so I need 774 more for that. In the store you got your gold store and all the extra little bits that come from World of Tanks. So you can buy your planes, of course. You can get some premium planes for gold if you really want them. It's not something I'm particularly intrigued by. You can upgrade your crew as well. When you buy your plane you have the choice of buying them at 50%, which is standard, at 75%, which costs you sort of the silver, so that's the in-game credits, or you can get them at 100% by spending gold if you want that highly trained pilot without having to actually do any work for him. But enough of my talking, let's get on with a battle, shall we? So you could assemble a flight and have up to 2 friends with you. Currently there is only standard battle training or team training modes, and then it goes through the standard matchmaking procedure. So this is a list of all of the people currently in the queue and what tier they're at, and it's pretty rapid, as you can see, and it's thrown me in with a bunch of tier 3s and some tier 2s. I must say the balance in terms of spread seems a bit better than World of Tanks at the moment. Only once or twice have I been thrown in with people more than a tier above me. There is a nice little hint section here for tactics that you'd probably want to be aware of, although anyone that's played even a basic flight sim should know them. One important thing to notice is you can get an indication of how your plane's performing against your selected target. This is very much an arcade setup, as you can see. The bottom left is the target you currently have selected, the bottom right is your map. You've then got a radar in the top right. You do have to turn that on in the options though. You get 1 life per battle. It's no War Thunder, unfortunately you don't get to pick a different plane and come back in that one. And you do have a boost, which you can see me using at the moment. This one lasts for 10 seconds, you can see the engine overheating down at the bottom of the screen. Equally, if you fire your guns for too long, you'll see that one start to climb, but it's a pretty lengthy burst fire you can get. And I'm flying off entirely on my own. That's probably not the best plan. We'll run away back towards our team there before I get jumped by the entirety of the enemy. The look around system, I would say, is not as useful as the one in War Thunder. There's no track IR implementation as far as I'm aware. Oh, we're being chased and shot at. Okay, where is he? I think he's down low. Yes, he is. So there we go, we can see him down in the bottom left now. He is an AR-80. And we can see, based on the colour scheme, which sort of methods we've got advantages over him in. So we'll keep retreating away from him, as the rest of my team don't seem too bothered, and I don't fancy getting into a 2-on-1 fight. 3-on-1 fight. So the little circles you see on the ground are sort of ground targets. There'll be ships and installations and stuff. There are bombers and a ground attack aircraft, so that's what they'll be trying to target. And that influences the score at the top of the screen, you can see. As one team forces it one way or the other, they will get an advantage. Right, let's go for a head-to-head fight with this guy. We'll dodge his initial burst, give him one, and fly straight into him, because he decided to turn towards me. Which of course gives both players a kill, and you both tumble to the ground, and that's all over. And there'll be Rammer noob claims in the chat, as per every flight sim game ever released, because obviously you both know what the other one's thinking when it comes to trying to avoid each other, because you're all psychic. So, that will go until one whole team is wiped out, or one team gets such an advantage at the top. You can see that it's slowly counting up from their ground advantage, where they've destroyed more ground targets. If that reaches 100%, that's a victory, similar to capturing the flag in the World of Tanks setup. But looking at the teams, you can see the left team is getting utterly annihilated, which does seem to be how it goes. One team gets utterly slaughtered for the most part. You can see these planes taking quite a lot of punishment before they go down. It does vary from plane to plane, and obviously what's shooting at you in terms of gun size. But for the most part, the fighters do take quite a bit of damage from each other before they go down. You won't get any head-to-head passes where a fighter on a fighter usually end up flying into each other instead of one killing the other. The exception comes when you go against something much larger like a bow fighter. They can win head-to-head fights quite comfortably. Right, let's have a quick look and see if I can afford my upgrade yet. Nope, I need 587. So, back into the fighting. It's a very quick matchmaking process, and again we're in with 3s and 2s. Wow, tongue twist there. The biggest weight is actually this bit at the start while everyone loads in. You can see on the two teams, people grayed out and just sort of appearing. So I don't believe this supports track IR, and the other interesting thing is if you've got a hat on your joystick, which is what I'm currently using, you've got your forwards view, you've got front right, front left, rear right, your right and your left, and then up and down. There's no back on your hat, you have to bind a completely separate button to look rear, which is odd as that's the one you'd think you'd want most, but never mind. So we'll boost up to altitude again, and this time we'll pay attention to where the rest of the team's going, so that we don't spend half the fight trying to get back from it. So these look like ground attack craft. There we go, what's that? We've got an I-16 down low supporting his friend. 4 enemies, 4 friendlies. Let's pick one and go for him. He's got a target, let's pick his friend just there then. So you get a lead marker, you can see. It tells you the count of how many hits you've got to the right. And I've got it set up so his health's on show as well. Let's boost up a bit, try and finish him off and then break away. There we go. Right, now who is shooting me? You. Let's get round on his tail while he's busy fighting with somebody else. There we go. Oh, someone's on me now. So that pass did quite a lot of damage to this guy. He's down to 17 health. We should be able to finish him this time. There we go. But looking at the radar, you can see this is not going well for my team, because there's only 2 of us left. And I'm going to be on the receiving end of a whole world of pain in a moment. Let's target these guys. Yeah, here it comes. Come on, get down. There we go. I'm going to take as many with me as I can, but I'm on 5 health. This is all over. Three health. I just don't have the maneuverability to do anything, and down we go. So from my perspective, that was fairly successful, and we did hold up a lot of their planes in the area, so hopefully the friendlies have been putting that time to good use, but looking at the score at the top, you would think they haven't. Lots of head-on collisions in this game so far. But this is the lower tiers, and even in War Thunder that was always the case. Let's see if we can find a ground attack craft. He looked like he just dropped some bombs, but we missed it. Right, we'll get back into watching this dogfight then. Although, I'm not sure what this guy is up to. Dodging the enemies by the look of it. Yeah. By wiggling around, flying in a straight line. Not the best decision of the day. So fighting over friendly territory like this is a good plan because there is anti-aircraft in this game. And as you can see, it's firing flak up now. It doesn't do huge amounts of damage, but it is enough that it will take its toll over time. So if you can stay near some anti-aircraft support, especially on the maps that have huge fleets, there's a couple where you've got massive American task force carriers and such, they have a lot of anti-aircraft output, and if you can hover around them with the enemy chasing you, you will pull them down without actually having to do anything yourself. Surprised that guy can see with the amount of smoke in his face. And there goes the kill from the anti-aircraft guns. So good use of the anti-aircraft there by Talfir. There we have one of the ground attack craft being saved by anti-aircraft again. And we win. So you can see the awards are quite a lot higher once you actually get some kills. And you got a personal score of how many shots you fired, how many hits you got, how many hits you took. And of course what you killed and what killed you. So we should be able to buy my next plane now. Let's have a look. I may have counted wrong. Nope, there we go. We have got enough. But we can't afford it, or can we? No, it's 120,000 credits, and I have 93,000. So, more playing will be required. But one thing you can see already in here is some of the items are already unlocked because I unlocked them on the previous plane. And I will have to upgrade my airframe before I can make use of them. That's great. But anyway, hopefully that has given you a taster of what World of Warplanes is about. Again, it's free, so there's no harm in trying it yourself and seeing if you enjoy it. And make sure you use that link and the promo code to get the most out of it if you are going to do that. So, thanks for watching. See you next time.